Well, first up this evening, the face-off over the Bengaluru Stampede after RCB's victory that took 11 lives continued in Karnataka. The government, in its status report before the Karnataka High Court, pinned the blame on the RCB and the police for the tragedy and even shared a video of Virat Kohli's message to fans as part of its report. Clearly, not an iota of responsibility on the politicians who rejoiced in the celebrations, including the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister, but everyone else takes the blame, Vasudha.
That's right, Veera. The government has also made very sharp allegations against suspended police officers, including 3 IPS officers, before the High Court that challenged the CAT and also revoked suspension of the IPS officers. In fact, the government also submitted a status report before the High Court in another case in which it blamed the RCB, KSCA, which is the cricket association there, and also even shared the video of Virat Kohli asking fans to join celebrations. In fact, the state cabinet also discussed the Justice Michael Kunap Commission report, which made a sharp indictment of everyone involved in organizing the events and suggested remedial measures.
That's right, Vasudha. Everyone is to be blamed except the politicians, it would seem, including the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister, who ran up to share the stage with cricketers. Joining me now is A.S. Ponnanna, Congress MLA and legal advisor to the Karnataka Chief Minister. Sir, thanks very much for joining us. There are multiple reports here. On the one hand, the Justice Kuna report before the cabinet, then the status report filed by the government before the High Court. There are also arguments of the government in the CAT case. That's the one challenging the suspension of the IPS officers. In all these, the effort seems to be to pin the blame on the RCB, even Virat Kohli, the KSCA, and the police officers, while the political leadership seems to have taken no responsibility at all.
You see, there are 3 things to this. Firstly, what is happening in the court is with regard to the suspension of one of the IPS officers, who was an additional commissioner of the Bengaluru City Police. The report of Justice Kuna is a one-man judicial commission of inquiry under the Commission of Inquiry Act. Then we also had a magisterial inquiry. We also have 2 FIRs where RCB, KSCA, DNA have been named as accused. CID is investigating these matters. So there is different dynamics, different angles to this incident, starting with who do we attribute the negligence to? How did the incident happen? What are the future course correction that is required by the agencies? And then whether there is any culpable act by any of these persons. Now, very clearly, it may suit, TRP, it may suit the opposition to make this a political issue. But not everything is political. So let's get some things clear here. Firstly, RCB is the franchisee that won the IPL. They wanted to celebrate. Why do they want to celebrate? It's not a real celebration in the sense. They want to celebrate so that their ratings, their valuation, their team goes up. Because huge people are going to gather. KSCA is the location where this whole celebration takes place. DNA is the in-between mediatory agency. Police are the ones who are supposed to man and provide security, ensure that such assemblies take place well within law and order limits, make sure nobody gets hurt, make sure nobody dies, which is the last of the things that anybody wants to happen. So these are the stakeholders. Now, immediately when something like this happens, obviously opposition jumps in, then a lot of people jump into the bandwagon, point fingers at the government. It may all look good. But the point remains that you see facts are very cold.
Right.
So the cold facts are that the government has nothing to do with this celebration. The government has nothing to do with the KSCA. The government has nothing to do with the RC. Suspension of the police officer. Now, one of them is in court. We are justifying the act of suspension under the law, the All India Service Rules, suspension, disciplinary rules, XYZ. Our lawyers are doing their job in the court. So the court, there is another matter in the court, which is the public interest litigation. We were asked to file a status report by the Honorable Chief Justice, who was dealing with this matter. Right. We did so. We did so in a sealed cover because we said that there is a commission of inquiry. We don't want that commission of inquiry's proceedings to be jeopardized in any way. Therefore, we filed it in sealed cover. Court has now told us you give it to the other side. So right. we will do that. So this is the reality. But you see, it may not suit the people's palate. It may not suit the public palate. But the fact remains that the government has nothing to do with this.
But sir, ultimately the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister were also part of this celebration. Many would say that they were also keen to take credit and be on stage with the winning team. As those who have vast political experience, and you have one of them, can you explain to us if you think all of this was done in a sense of hurry? Because there are questions that remain on why they did not stop this event.
They are not the ones who will permit the event. They are not the ones who will stop the event. Now, participation in a cricket match, participation in some program, you can't hold people who participate liable for this. There is no vicarious liability in such incidents. Liability is direct and straight to the people who are responsible for what has happened.
No.
Now, who was to man the gates?
No.
Who was to man the public entry? Who was to provide access, ingress, egress?
But sir,
these are the people who are responsible. Not people who sit in the stadium, not people who participate in the proceedings, isn't it? Now we have sir, now very importantly, today the court proceedings, I don't know if you have watched, our the council for the state government has been able to pinpointedly show why the police are directly responsible for this incident, whether for whatever has happened, or whether, they did not discharge their duties is another aspect of matter.
Right.
Now, we cannot perhaps hold somebody directly liable for a death. But the fact is, you are supposed to do certain things in a particular manner. You do that job or you face the consequences.
But sir, the government seems to be pointing fingers at even Virat Kohli, who was just part of the celebrations.
No, you see, in the course of our arguments and while filing the status report, what we have said is that RCB, Royal Challengers Bangalore, through its most famous personality, Virat Kohli, has tweeted asking people to participate in large numbers. And this tweet has gone at 7 o'clock in the morning of the day of the event, when they specifically knew that they did not have the permission to go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Punana, for joining us with those details. Clearly, the government could have taken accountability, responsibility for this, but like you say, Veera, that some things cannot be politicized. That's what the Congress ruling government in Karnataka is saying.
Well, just for a quick political cricket face-off, Vasudha, if I may, Dhruv Jatti of the Congress, Vijay Prasad of the BJP, and Akash Dasgupta, senior sports journalist, joins us. Vijay Prasad, first to you. The facts may not be palatable, but the government claims it has fixed responsibility with investigations and evidence, and that the BJP is purely politicizing the issue, because in other states where there have been stampedes, the BJP has not even done this much.
Very good evening, Veera. If the Congress has left any conscience left in that, the CM, the DCM, and the Home Minister would have resigned by this time. See, it is for the Congress government to introspect and see if they are upholding the basic human dignity when 11 fans have died due to their failures and negligence and carelessness. And it is clearly, I can show you one video. I was listening to Ponnanna. Okay, see, here it does not say this. He does not say about this video at all. He does not say anything about the video. In this video, the DCM DK Shivakumar is controlling the crowd, and that means he is the ringmaster. On the same stage, we have DCM, the Chief Secretary, and the DPER Secretary. See, the Congress it is very clear, Veera. The Congress is resorting to blatant cover-up to protect its own administrative failures. See, Congress is clearly disregarding for transparency and accountability.
Okay, point
the
taken. Dhruv Jatti, you want the BJP spokesperson out.
If this is saying that, Veera, Vasudha,
right?
The only thing is, the Congress is trying to cover up and protecting the chair of the CM, DCM, and the Home Minister. These are the three musketeers who are the main brain child behind this stampede.
Mr. Prasad,
and they are the ones who are the ringmasters in the entire episode.
Yes, Mr. Jatti, the people of Karnataka voted for the Congress government. They gave you 135 seats. They all came out looking for safety because they believed in this government. And how can you say that, these piecemeal responsibilities, like the police has to do this, RCB has to do this, but clearly it's the government that needs to take overall responsibility of this event?
Vasudha, I'll first react to Vijay's comments, and let me begin with Pulkit Arya, son of BJP leader Vinod Arya, convicted in 2025 murder of a 19-year-old. You had
Sir, please
in
talk about the
Hathras,
current
wherever
issue, sir. Please talk
120
about the current issue.
No,
Please talk about the
Vijay,
current issue.
Vijay, I did
RCB
not.
Stampede.
Vijay,
RCB Stampede.
no.
Why the see?
Let him finish.
You don't
Let him
talk
finish.
about the
One second, Vijay, stick to the point.
You don't
Just
talk,
one
I'm
second.
no, you don't
Vijay,
talk
wait.
about the.
Dhruv, go ahead.
I'm sure the BJP teaches its spokesperson's manners, because when
if you have
I
any
was listening to you, I did
Go
not
ahead.
interrupt you.
CM and the Home
1 minute,
Minister
Vijay
present
Prasad,
by
let
this
Dhruv
time.
go ahead.
You please talk about that. You please talk about
Vijay,
that. Veera,
Vijay.
this is insane. This is insane.
No,
from the
he's
government.
coming to
Just
talk about it. You
interrupt
need to
him,
let him
yes,
talk
Dhruv,
about
go
it,
on.
right? Vijay Prasad, 1
What
minute.
about Ring?
He's
Okay,
just
Dhruv,
coming
go
to
on.
What about Ring?
Dhruv is beginning. Dhruv,
What
stick
about
to the
the-
point,
what about
stick to
Ring?
this case. Please go ahead.
No, I'm sticking to this case clearly. I'm sticking to the allegations made by Vijay. He spoke about resignation, and I'm asking about where the resignation was in Hathras in 2024, where over 120 people were killed. Now, are you saying it's insane over here as well, where 124 people were killed under Yogi Adityanath's governance? Where was the resignation then? Isn't that insane, Mr. Vijay? I'm taking your own words here. What about the Elphinstone Stone Bridge in Mumbai in 2017, where 23 were killed under BJP's Fadnavis government? So, I mean, when you speak about resignations and in Karnataka, why the hypocrisy? Why not the resignations that you've asked for in Maharashtra and in Uttar Pradesh? Now, coming to Vasudha's questions, and yes, factually right, the people of Karnataka entrusted the Congress, and we have been delivering with our guarantees and with our policies all put together. And with this RCB matter ahead of us, our legal advisor to the CM, yes, Punana sir, had also explained to you earlier, but I would like to reiterate as well that the government has taken multiple actions on multiple fronts to ensure that justice is brought to the 11 lives and the losses that their families have been facing at this point of time. You have it being taken in court as well. And even today, the cabinet had deliberated over the Justice Punya's report. You see, the government has been taking action on a very active front, and it's clear various actions you yourself have been spoken about during the introduction of this show.
All right, let me just go get Akash Dasgupta very briefly. Akash, this was a real tragedy, and I think there was a sense of collective responsibility to it. Do you see a genuine sense of reflection within cricket franchises, cricketers, about how they celebrate a victory? Do you believe that that's happened, or do they feel that they've been victimized?
Well, good evening, and thank you for having me on the show today. Before I answer your question, I think one thing that I wanted to say, because I've been hearing the gentleman before me talk, and it's again very, very clear that the cost of human life in this country, Veera, is very, very cheap. And that is the real tragedy. As far as cricket franchises are concerned, we've heard the BCCI go on record to say that even though they cannot control how a franchise decides to celebrate a particular win or a title or a trophy or a tournament, they do need to bring everyone to the table so that a tragedy like this does not happen again. Having said that, I just was hearing Mr. Ponanna, I think it was, and I'm no legal expert here, but I heard him say that the government of Karnataka has nothing to do with the KSCA. I wonder why he said that, because if you look at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, the venue where this tragedy occurred, the venue is actually owned by the Karnataka government. It's leased out to the Karnataka State Cricket Association for, I think, about 100 years or something like that. So is the government actually trying to say that they have no responsibility for a tragedy that occurred on the ground?
That doesn't make any sense. I'd like to come in here.
But having said that, I also say that this is a classic case of uphill path. It's not just the
So you're saying
government,
if somebody
it's
owns a
also the
house and a
RCB,
crime takes
definitely.
place in that house,
One very quick
the owner
point
of
that
the
I wanted
house
to make
Okay,
here.
let him
One
finish
very
his
quick
point. Let
point.
Akash finish his
doesn't
point.
make any sense.
One very
It's a
quick
very
point.
senseless statement.
Everybody knew that RCB is going to be playing the IPL final on the 29th of May. That was 5 days before this tragedy occurred. Are you telling me that a franchise with the resources that RCB has and a government body which is in charge perhaps of a cricket stadium and is looking at everything that is
So all
happening?
relevant questions, closing remarks from Vijay Prasad. Yeah, just 10 seconds, sir. Yeah, just 10 seconds to both of you. Vijay Prasad, go first. Yeah, Vijay Prasad, go first.
Yes, 20 seconds to both of you, please.
Okay. Veera, on the day of the celebration, it was shameless DCM Shivakumar who was charading holding the RCB fan using the government of Karnataka vehicle throughout Bangalore, right from the Devnalli airport
Finish
to
your
the
point, please.
Vidhan Sabha steps and to the KSCA stadium. He was the one who was charading, holding the RCB fans,
Okay.
RCB fan flag, and in the government official car. See, for me, a common man.
Dhruv
who
Jatti,
wants
respond to
erect a
that. Quick
small-
final
No,
word
I mean,
from Dhruv
no,
Jatti. You made your point.
No, Vijay.
No, only thing is,
Oh, God,
if I want
monologue
to, if I
again.
want to set up a small pandal, I have to get the police permission.
I'd like to come in.
the
Go ahead,
police and the
Dhruv,
other-
finish your
other
point.
Yeah,
things
finish your point
were
now, Dhruv. Yeah.
No,
extremely under
so
pressure
are you trying
from
to
these
say?
three
Are you trying to say
musketeers.
that the DCM cannot be a fan of RCB? Are you saying that the DCM cannot join the celebrations that took place? Now, I'd also like to give a reply to the sports journalist who is on air. So, if you say that the government had leased out the land to the Karnataka State Cricket Association, in retrospect, since we're on a media channel, Vasudha, let's say a crime takes place in your studio, are you going to say that the owner of that particular building is to be held accountable, or the criminal himself? It's quite.
Okay.
It was a very blatant
No,
statement.
I
so
think there
thought
are
I'd just bring
multiple
that in.
layers,
Now, I'd
multiple
also like
questions to be raised.
I'd
I think
I'd also like to one more important point, because it was
No,
brought
no,
out saying
Viran,
that there was
this Kunna report
some
is a
amount of
one-sided
Vijay.
report.
One
It
second,
is a
Vijay,
single-man
stop
report.
interrupting
It is a
people.
single-man
No,
report.
I think we'll,
Giving
you know, a lot of
things,
these points have been
CM,
made in the
DCM,
court.
and
I think the matter
and
is
the Home
before the
Minister.
courts. They will
This is
decide.
a-
The courts will ultimately decide. Let's leave this conversation here for the moment. It was a tragic loss of lives, Vasudha. 11 lives. The question is that will everyone reflect, and will the responsibility and where the buck really stops as far as the decisions that were taken?